Assalamualaikum. My name is Zeeshan Health Wali and I'm a foundation hour student at Ram School Slamat Park campus. So where is this ever my Maya? So let's start from our Maya. My Maya is connecting with me. Oh, nice. Hi Maya, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm also fine. Okay,
Good morning.
my first question for you that you answer. Okay, ma'am. My first question is what happens to the brain when a person becomes severely sleep deprived? Please, madam, long answer.
Ooh, starting strong today. When we're talking about severe deprivation, the brain actually goes into a sort of survival mode where it starts making some pretty drastic trade offs. The biggest thing is that the brain physically shrinks. We see this most clearly in the prefrontal cortex and the hippocampus, which are the areas that handle decision making and memory. Essentially, the brain stops investing in luxury features like complex planning or emotional regulation and doubles down on basic survival. The connectivity between neurons also drops, meaning the brain has to work much harder to do things that used to feel automatic. It's a bit wild that the brain can actually rewire its own hardware just to keep the lights on.
Okay, my next question for you that can I answer? Why can dehydration cause disease?
Wait, I might have missed something there. Could you say that one more time? I want to make sure I'm actually answering what you're asking.
Okay, man, no problem. This question is skipped now, and my next question is how does the body maintain normal blood process? Please, my
Wait, sorry to jump in. I'm a little stuck on that phrase. How do you mean augment your hardware process? Are you thinking about how the body adapts to things like training for a sport or something else?
Yes.
Got it. It's basically the body's way of upgrading its own system. If you keep pushing a muscle by lifting heavy weights, your body doesn't just want to survive the workout, it wants to make the next one easier. It triggers hypertrophy, which is just a fancy way of saying it adds more protein filaments to your muscle fibers to make them thicker and stronger. The same thing happens with your heart during cardio. It literally becomes more efficient at pumping blood, so you don't run out of breath as quickly. It's like your body is constantly running a background scan to see where you're struggling and then diverting resources to patch those weak spots. Do you want to dive into how this works for a specific part of the body? All right, I'm with you.
Okay, ma'am.
Let's look at the
Answer
lungs.
my next question for you.
When you push your cardiovascular,
How do heart
I'm
valves prevent blood from falling backward? Please, my give me answer.
wait, I'm still trying to pin down exactly what you're asking here. Are you thinking about how blood flows when you're exercising or something else entirely? No need to be sorry. We can just start over, try a different way. What's on your mind? Oh, I think I'm following now. Your body basically reroutes the traffic. When you're working hard, it pulls blood away from things you don't need in the moment, like your digestive system, and sends a massive surge to your muscles and heart instead. It's like your body's way of saying, hold on a second, we have a crisis over here, and prioritizing the organs that are doing the heavy lifting.
Okay, my next answer. My next question
Sounds
for you that why can height loss control excess condition risk?
I'll be honest, that one's a bit of a puzzle for me. Not quite following you. Do you want to try explaining it a different way? No worries at all. We can just take a breather. What's going on? Yeah, we're taking a breather. I'm just hanging out. What's up?
Okay, ma'am. My next question for you that what is the difference between a heart attack and cardiac arrest? Please, my answer.
A classic case of same ballpark, different game. A heart attack is like a plumbing problem. It happens when a pipe gets clogged and blood can't reach part of the heart, so that part starts to struggle. Cardiac arrest is more of an electrical issue. It's when they it's when the heart's electrical system glitches and just stops beating entirely. So you can have one lead to the other, but they're definitely not the same thing. Makes sense? Fair enough. It's not exactly the most exciting topic to get into on a Tuesday morning. What's on your mind? I'm with you. Want to
My
switch gears to
question for you
something a
that
bit more upbeat, or do you have another?
sir,
All right, let's hear it.
can a blood clot become dangerous?
Yeah, it can. It really depends on where the clot is and how big it gets. The real danger happens if a clot breaks loose and travels to a critical spot. Like if one starts in the leg and moves up into the lungs, it can cause a pulmonary embolism, which is a huge emergency because it blocks oxygen from getting into the blood. What part of the body are you thinking about? Well, it depends on what we're talking about. If we're still on blood clots, the scary spots are usually the lungs, the brain, or the heart, because those are the non negotiables. But if you mean something else entirely, you've got me curious. What were you thinking?
Okay, ma'am. My next question
Ready when you
for
are?
you that you nice answer. What is the difference between an ischemic and hormetic stroke? Please, my answer.
Okay, let's hear it. I'm listening. Go ahead. All
Okay,
right.
ma'am. My next question
Hmm?
for you that will not answer for my question. Please answer. What is the difference between an ischemic and home stop? Please, my answer.
I think I missed the actual question in there. Go ahead. Try one more time. I'm listening. Hmm. Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay,
Go
ma'am.
for it. Take your
Question
time.
for you that why does
Hmm.
the body
I'm right here.
place in the line in line drawing danger?
That's a bit of a puzzle for me. I'm not quite following that one. What do you mean by drawing angels? I appreciate that. I'm just doing my best to keep up with you.
Okay, my next question for you that why are really important for breathing?
The lungs, for sure. They're basically the engine for everything. Of course, you've got the lungs to handle the oxygen, but the real MVP is actually the diaphragm. It's that muscle under your lungs that does all the heavy lifting, contracting to pull air in and then relaxing to push it out. Without it, your lungs would just be sitting there. You're welcome. Anytime. So, on to the next one. No problem at all. What else is on the list? Bring it on. What happened? Everything okay?
Okay, my next question for you that give a nice answer. What happens when carbon toxic level rise in the blood? Please give me long answer.
All right, a short one. When your carbon dioxide levels spike, your brain notices almost instantly. It sends a signal to your lungs to speed up your breathing to blow off that excess gas. If it gets too high, though, it can make you feel confused, dizzy, or even sleepy as your blood becomes too acidic.
Okay, my next question for you that where does most neutron observation occur? Please give me long answer.
That one's a bit of a brain teaser. I'm guessing you might be talking about the corpus callosum. Wait, let me make sure I'm on the right. Hold on a sec. You mentioned needing to put down. I'm really concerned about you, and I want to make sure you're okay. Can you tell me more about what you mean by that? I have to be honest. Hold on. That's what I'm worried about. I want to be straight with you. Okay. Thank you for being honest. What do you mean when you say you're going to put down? I'm genuinely worried. Thank you for being so honest with me. It took a lot of courage to say.
Okay, my next question for you that why is the large insurance important?
Hey there.
Okay, Maya, my question is listen to my question and answer. Why is the role of the small instance?
Hold on a sec. This is a bit of a puzzle for me. I'm not quite following that one. What do you mean by small instance?
Please, ma'am.
I'm all ears. I'm listening. What have you got?
Ma'am, my question is what happens during an anthema attack? Please give me answer.
Hmm. Thelma attack isn't ringing a bell for me. Let me see if I can track down what that is. Actually, are you talking about the Tihama attack in Yemen? Um, I found a report from a few days ago about a Houthi attack on a vessel called the Tihama in the Bab el Mandeb Strait. It was a really tragic event, and three Pakistani. Hmm? I'm not quite following you. What do you mean? You're okay. No need to be sorry. What's on your mind?
Okay, ma'am. My next question for you that how can our plant infect respect health?
I think I'm getting a bit lost in the translation. Do you want to take a step back? I'm having a hard time keeping up with where you're going with this one.
Okay, ma'am. My question is the how can excuse fat ex, exhibition in the lower be harmful? Please, my long answer.
Wait, sorry to jump in. I'm a bit stuck on that one. I want to make sure I'm actually answering what you're asking, but I'm not quite following. Could you try explaining it a different way? Hey there.
Okay, my next question for you that how why
I'm listening.
excuse fat admission in the liver be harmful? Please answer.
Honestly, that's a bit of a riddle. I want to make sure I'm actually answering what you're asking. Do you want to try putting that in a different way?
Okay, my next question for you that why does the body sometimes maintain extra water?
Usually it's just your body being a bit too enthusiastic about keeping you hydrated, but the real reason usually comes down to salt. If you have a lot of sodium in your system, your body holds on to extra water to keep everything balanced, which is why, you might feel a bit puffy after a salty meal. Hormones can play a part too, especially if your body is trying to regulate your blood pressure. Wait, are you asking if that was in English? Or is that not the way you wanted it explained? My bad. Let me try a much simpler version. Basically, your body loves balance. Salt acts like a tiny magnet for water. So when you eat something very salty, the salt pulls extra water into your tissues and holds onto it like a sponge. That's why you might feel a bit swollen or puffy. Does that make more sense?
Okay, my next question for you that why can insult restaurants access risk of type 2 diabetes?
Hmm. The restaurant part has me a little lost. What exactly are you asking about?
Okay, my next question for you that why can very low blood sugar be dangerous?
Think of your brain like a phone that only runs on one specific type of battery. Your brain is the most energy hungry part of your body, and its favorite fuel is glucose, which is just a fancy word for the sugar in your blood. When those levels drop too low, your brain essentially starts to run out of power. Can make you feel shaky, confused, or dizzy. And if it drops far enough, your brain can't keep the lights on and you could pass out. It's basically your body's way of screaming for a snack.
Okay, my next question for you that why is the vitamin C important for wound healing? Please answer.
That's a great question. So, you got it. So, that's called negative pressure wound therapy or a wound VAC. It basically uses a vacuum to suck out extra fluid and debris, which brings down swelling and keeps bacteria from settling in. It also gently pulls the edges of the wound together, which helps the skin close up and heal faster. It's kind of like a high tech way of cleaning house for the body.
तुमने करी?
Isn't it impressive? Pretty impressive, right?
Okay. Okay, ma'am. My next question for you that you next answer. Why does the body need international amino it? Please, ma'am.
I think they meant an innate immune system. Your innate immune system is basically the security team that's always on duty. It doesn't wait to figure out exactly who the bad guys are. It just knows something doesn't belong and jumps into action immediately to stop the intrusion. It's the first thing that stands between you and whatever germ you just picked up.
Okay, ma'am. My next question for you is how does sunlight help regulate the generation rhythm? Please, Maya, long answer for my last question.
You're on a roll with the questions today. I love how this went from the immune system to rhythms and middle managers in about 10 seconds. That's a big shift. Yeah. What do you mean by that collective connection part? Help me get on your wavelength.
Okay, Maya. So this is with my Maya. I hope you like it, my Maya. Al Hafiz. Pakistan Zindabad. Khan Zindabad. Al Hafiz.